Part 8. And even if we had sent down the angels to them, and the dead had spoken to them, and we had assembled everything against them, face to face, yet they would not believe, unless God wills, except many of them are ignorant. And thus we have made an enemy for every prophet, Satan's, from among humankind and the jinn. Some of them revealed to some others ornamented sayings as a delusion. And if thy Lord willed, they would not have accomplished it. So forsake them and what they devise, while minds will bend towards it of those who believe not in the world to come, and they will be well pleased with it, and they will gain what the ones who gain. Will I be looking for an arbiter other than God, while it is he who has sent forth to you the book, one that is distinct? And those to whom we have given the book, they know that it was sent down by thy Lord with the truth. So be thou not among the ones who contest. The word of thy Lord has been completed in sincerity and justice. There is no one who changes his words, and he is the hearing, the knowing. And if thou obeyest most of those on the earth, they will cause thee to go astray from the way of God. They follow nothing but opinion, and they only guess. Truly, thy Lord is he who is greater in knowledge of those who go astray from his way, and he is greater in knowledge of the ones who are truly guided. So eat of that over which the name of God was remembered, if you have been ones who believe in his signs. And why should you not eat of that over which the name of God was remembered on it? Surely he has explained distinctly to you what he has forbidden to you, unless you were driven by necessity to it. And truly many cause others to go astray by their desires without knowledge. Truly thy Lord, he is greater in knowledge of the ones who are aggressors. And forsake manifest sin and its inward part. Truly those who earn sin, they will be given recompense for what they had been gaining. Eat not of that over which the name of God is not remembered on it. Truly it is contrary to moral law, and truly the Satans will reveal to their protectors so that they dispute with you. And if you obey them, truly you would be of the ones who are polytheists. Is he who has been lifeless, and we gave him life, and we made a light for him, by which he walks among humanity, like he who is in the shadows, and is not one who goes forth from them. Thus it was made to appear pleasing to ones who are ungrateful what they had been doing. And thus we have made in every town greater ones who sin, that they may plan in it. Yet they plan not but against themselves, although they are not aware. And when a sign drew near to them, they said, We will not believe until we are given the like of what was given to messengers of God. God is greater in knowledge where to assign his message, and will light on those who sin contempt from God and a severe punishment for what they had been planning. And whomever wants God, he guides him. He expands his breast for the submission to one God. And whomever he wants to cause to go astray, he makes his breast tight, troubling, as if he had been climbing up a difficult ascent. Thus God assigns disgrace on those who believe not. And this is the straight path of thy Lord. Surely we have explained distinctly the signs for a folk who recollect. For them is the abode of peace with their Lord, and he is their protector for what they had been doing. And mention on a day he will assemble them all together. O assembly of the jinn, surely you have acquired much from humankind, and their protectors among humankind would say, Our Lord, some of us have enjoyed some others, and we have reached our term that thou hast appointed for us. He would say, The fire is your place of lodging, ones who will dwell in it forever. But what God willed, truly thy Lord is wise, knowing. And thus That is how we made some of them friends with some others, who were ones who were unjust to one another for what they had been earning. O assembly of jinn and humankind, approach not messengers from among yourselves, relating to you my signs, and warning you of the meeting of this your day. They would say, we bear witness against ourselves. This present life deluded them, and they will bear witness against themselves that they had been ones who were ungrateful. That is because thy Lord would never cause towns to perish unjustly, while their people were ones who were heedless. And for every one there are degrees for what they did. And thy Lord is not one who is heedless of what they do. Thy Lord is the sufficient possessor of mercy. If he wills, he will cause you to be put away, and will make a successor after you of whomever he wills, just as he caused you to grow from offspring of other folk. Truly, what you are promised is certainly that which comes, and you will not be ones who frustrate it. Say, O my folk, act according to your ability. Truly, I too am one who acts. Then you will know for whom the ultimate end will be the abode. Truly, the ones who are unjust will not prosper. And they assign to God of what he made numerous of cultivation and flocks a share. Then they said in their claim, this is for God, and this is for our ascribed associates. But what had been for their ascribed associates then reaches not out to God, and what had been for God then reaches out to their ascribed associates. How evil is the judgment they give. And thus was made to appear pleasing to many of the ones who are polytheists the killing of their children by those whom they ascribe as associates with him, so that they deal them destruction, and so that they confuse their way of life for them. And had God willed, they would not have accomplished it. So forsake them and what they devise. And they said, these flocks and cultivation are banned. None should taste them but whom we will, so they claim. And there are flocks whose backs were forbidden, and flocks that they remember not the name of God on it, a devising against him. He will give them recompense for what they had been devising. And they said, what is in the bellies of these flocks is exclusively for our males, and is that which is forbidden to our spouses. But if it would be born dead, then they are associates in it. He will give recompense to them for their allegations. Truly, he is wise, knowing. They have surely lost those who foolishly kill their children without knowledge. They forbade what God provided them in a devising against God. They surely have gone astray, and have not been ones who are truly guided. And it is he who caused gardens to grow, trellised and without being trellised, and the date palm trees, and a variety of harvest crops, and the olives and the pomegranates, resembling and not resembling one another. Eat of its fruit when it bears fruit, and give its due on the day of its reaping, and exceed not all bounds. Truly, he loves not the ones who are excessive. And of the flocks are some as beasts of burden, and some for slaughter. Eat of what God has provided you, and follow not in the steps of Satan. Truly, he is a clear enemy to you. 8 diverse pairs, 2 of sheep and 2 of goats. Say, has he forbidden the 2 males or the 2 females, or what is contained in the wombs of the 2 females? Tell me with knowledge, if you have been ones who are sincere. And of the camels 2, and of cows 2. Say, has he forbidden the 2 males or the 2 females, or what is contained in the wombs of the 2 females? Had you been witnesses when God charged you with this? Then whoever does greater wrong than he who devised a lie against God, to cause humanity to go astray without knowledge. Truly, God guides not the folk the ones who are unjust. Say, I find not in what is revealed to me that which is forbidden to taste, but that it be carrion, or bloodshed, or the flesh of swine, for that truly is a disgrace, or contrary to moral law, having been hallowed to other than God on it. Then whoever was driven by necessity, other than being one who is willfully disobedient, or one who turns away, then truly thy Lord is forgiving, compassionate. And to those who became Jews, we forbade every possessor of claws, and of the cows and the herd of sheep, we forbade them their fat, but what their backs carry, or entrails, or what is mingled with bone. Thus have we given them recompense for their insolence, and we are truly ones who are sincere. If they deny thee, say, your Lord is the possessor of encompassing mercy, and his might is not repelled from the folk, ones who sin. Those who have ascribed partners with God will say, had God willed, neither would we have ascribed partners with God, nor our fathers, nor would we have forbidden anything. Thus denied those before them until they experienced our might. Say, is there any knowledge with you that you can bring out to us? You follow not but opinion, and then you are only guessing. Say, God has the conclusive disputation, and had he willed, he would have guided you one and all. Say, bring your witnesses who bear witness that God has forbidden this. Then, if they bore witness, bear you not witness with them? And follow not the desires of those who deny our signs, and those who believe not in the world to come, and they equate others with their Lord. Say, approach now, I will recount what your Lord has forbidden you, that you not ascribe any partner with him at all, and to the ones who are your parents, kindness, and kill not your children from want. We will provide for you and for them, and come not near any indecencies, whether these be manifest or what is inward, and kill not a soul which God has forbidden, unless rightfully, that he has charged you with, so that perhaps you would be reasonable. And come not near the property of the orphan, but with what is fairer, until one reaches maturity and comes of age, and live up to the full measure and balance with equity. We will not place a burden on any soul but to its capacity, and when you have said something, be just, even if it has been with possessors of kinship, and live up to the compact of God, that he has charged you with it, so that perhaps you would recollect. And this is my straight path, so follow it, and follow not the ways that will split you up from his way, that he has charged you of it, so that perhaps you would be God-fearing. After that, we gave Moses the book, rendered complete for him who does good, a decisive explanation of all things, and as a guidance and mercy, so that perhaps they would believe in the meeting with their Lord. And this book we have sent forth is that which is blessed. So follow it, and be God-fearing, so that perhaps you would find mercy, so that you not say, the book was only sent forth to 2 sections before us, and truly we had been ones who were heedless of their study. Or so that you say, if the book was sent forth to us, we would have been better guided than they. Surely there have drawn near to you clear portents from your Lord, and a guidance and a mercy. And who then does greater wrong than he who has denied the signs of God and has drawn aside from them? We will give recompense to those who draw aside from our signs with the terrible punishment, because they had been drawing aside. Are they looking on only that the angels approach them, or thy Lord approach them, or some signs of thy Lord approach them? On a day that approach some of the signs of thy Lord, it will not profit a soul to have belief if he had not believed before, nor earned good because of his belief. Say, wait a while, We too are ones who are waiting a while. Truly, those who separated and divided their way of life and were partisans, be thou not concerned with them at all. Truly, their affair is only with God. After that, he will tell them what they had been accomplishing. Whoever drew near with benevolence, then for him 10 times the like of it, and whoever drew near with an evil deed, then will not be given recompense, but with its like, and wrong will not be done to them. Say, truly my Lord has guided me to a straight path, a truth-loving way of life, the creed of Abraham, the monotheist, and he had not been of the ones who are polytheists. Say, truly my formal prayer and my ritual sacrifice and my living and my dying are for God, Lord of all the worlds. No associates are to be ascribed with him, and of this was I commanded, and I am the first of the ones who submit. Say, is it other than God that I should desire as a Lord, while he is Lord of everything, and each soul will earn only for itself? No burdened soul will bear another's heavy load. After that, to your Lord will be your return. Then he will tell you about what you had been at variance in it. And it is he who has made you as vice-regents on the earth, and has exalted some of you above some others in degree, that he might try you with what he has given you. Truly, thy Lord is swift in repayment, and he truly is forgiving, compassionate. Chapter 7. The Elevated Places. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. Aleph, Lam, Mim, Thod. It is a book that was sent forth to thee, so let there be no impediment in thy breast about it, so that you will warn with it, and as a reminder to the ones who believe. Follow what was sent forth to you from your Lord, and follow not protectors other than he. Little you recollect. And how many towns we have caused to perish, and our might drew near to them at night, or when they were ones who sleep at noon. Then there had been no calling out when our might drew near to them, but that they said, truly, we had been ones who were unjust. Then we will certainly ask those to whom our message was sent, and we will certainly ask the ones who were sent. Then we will relate to them with knowledge, for we have never been of the ones who are absent. The weighing of deeds on that day will be the truth. So ones whose balance became heavy, then those, they are the ones who prosper. And ones whose balance has been made light are those who have lost their souls, because they had been doing wrong with our signs. And certainly we established you firmly on the earth, and we made for you in it a livelihood. But little you give thanks. And certainly we created you, after that formed you. After that we said to the angels, prostrate before Adam. Then they prostrated, but Iblis, he would not be of the ones who prostrated. God said, what prevented thee prostrating when I commanded thee? Satan said, I am better than he. Thou hast created me of fire, and thou hast created him of clay. He said, so get down from this. It is not for thee to increase in pride in it. Then go forth. Truly, thou art of the ones who are disgraced. Satan said, give me respite until the day they are raised up. It was said, truly, thou art of the ones who are given respite. Satan said, because thou hast led me into error, certainly I will sit in ambush for them on thy straight path. After that I will approach them from before them, and from behind them, and from their right, and from their left. And thou wilt not find many of them ones who are thankful. He said, go forth from this as one who is scorned, as one who is rejected. Whoever heeded thee among them, I will certainly fill hell with you one and all. And, O Adam, Inhabit thou and thy spouse the garden, and both eat from where you have both willed, but neither of you come near this tree, or you both will be of the ones who are unjust. And Satan whispered evil to them both, to show them both what was to be kept secret from them both, their intimate parts. And he said, The Lord of both of you prohibited you from this tree, so that neither of you should become angels, nor become ones who will dwell forever. And he swore an oath to them both, that I am one who gives advice to both of you. Then he led both of them on to delusion. Then, when they had both experienced of the tree, their intimate parts were shown to themselves, and they took to stitch together over themselves the leaves of the garden. And the Lord of both of them proclaimed to them, Prohibited I not both of you from that tree? And did I not say to you both, Truly Satan is a clear enemy of you both? They both said, Our Lord, we have done wrong to ourselves, and if thou wilt not forgive us and have mercy on us, we will certainly be of the ones who are losers. He said, Get you down, some of you an enemy to some other, and for you on the earth an appointed time, and enjoyment for a while. He said, You will live in it, and you will die in it, and from it you will be brought out. O children of Adam, surely we have sent forth to you garments to cover up your intimate parts, and finery. But the garment of God-consciousness, that is better. That is of the signs of God, so perhaps they would recollect. O children of Adam, let not Satan tempt you as he drove your parents out of the garden, tearing off their garments from both of them, to cause them to see their intimate parts. Truly he and his type sees you, whereas you see them not. Truly we have made he and the Satans protectors of those who believe not. And when they had committed an indecency, they said, We found our fathers on it, and God has commanded us in it. Say, Truly God commands not depravities. Say you about God what you know not. Say, My Lord has commanded me to equity. And set your faces at every place of prostration, and call to him ones who are sincere and devoted in the way of life to him. As he began you, you will revert to him. A group of people he guided, and a group of people realized their fallacy. Truly, they took Satans to themselves as protectors instead of God, and they assume that they are ones who are truly guided. O children of Adam, take your adornment at every place of prostration, and eat and drink, but exceed not all bounds. Truly, he loves not the ones who are excessive. Say, Who has forbidden the adornment of God which he brought out for his servants, and what is the good of his providing? Say, They are for those who have believed in this present life, and exclusively on the day of resurrection. Thus we explain distinctly the signs for a folk who know. Say, My Lord has not but forbidden indecencies, whether these be manifest or what is inward, and sins and insolence without right, and the partners you ascribed with God when he sends not down for it any authority, and that you say about God what you know not. And for every community there is a term, and when their term drew near, they will not delay it by an hour, nor press it forward. O children of Adam, if messengers from among you approach relating my signs to you, then whoever was God-fearing and made things right, then there will be neither fear in them, nor will they feel remorse. But those who denied our signs and grew arrogant against them, those are the companions of the fire. They are ones who will dwell in it forever. Then who does greater wrong than he who devised a lie against God, or denied his signs? Those, they will attain their share from the book. Until our messengers drew near to gather them, they will say, "Where are those you had been calling on other than God?" They would say, "They have gone astray from us, and they bore witness against themselves that truly they were ones who were ungrateful." He would say, "Enter among the communities that passed away before you of jinn and humankind into the fire." Every time a community entered, it would curse its sister community until when they will come successively in it, one and all. The last of them would say to the first of them, "Our Lord, these caused us to go astray, so give them a double punishment of the fire." He would say, "For everyone it is double, except you know not." And the first of them would say to the last of them, "You had no superiority over us, so experience the punishment for what you had been earning." Truly, those who denied our signs and grew arrogant among them, the doors of heaven will not be opened up to them, nor will they enter the garden until a he-camel penetrates through the eye of the needle. And thus we give recompense to the ones who sin. For them hell will be their cradling, and above them the overwhelming event. Thus we give recompense to the ones who are unjust. But for those who have believed, the ones who have acted in accord with morality, we place no burden on any soul beyond its capacity. Those will be the companions of the garden. They are ones who will dwell in it forever. And we will draw out what was in their breasts of grudges, and rivers will run beneath them. And they will say, "The praise belongs to God, who has truly guided us to this. And we would not have been guided if God had not guided us." Certainly the messengers of our Lord drew near us with the truth, and it will be proclaimed to them that this is the garden to be given to you as inheritance for what you had been doing. And the companions of the garden would cry out to the companions of the fire, "Surely we have found what our Lord has promised us to be true. Have you found what your Lord promised to be true?" They would say, "Yes." Then it will be announced by one who announces among them, "May the curse of God be on the ones who are unjust, those who bar the way of God and who desire it to be crooked." And in the world to come they will be ones who were ungrateful, and between them both is a partition. And on the elevated places will be men who recognize everyone by their marks, and they will cry out to the companions of the garden that, "Peace be on you." They enter it not, even though they were desirous of it. And when their sight will be turned away of its own accord to the companions of the fire, they will say, "Our Lord, assign us not with the folk, ones who are unjust." The companions of the elevated places would cry out to men whom they would recognize by their marks. They would say, "Your amassing has not availed you, nor that you had been growing arrogant. Are these they about whom you swore an oath that they would never attain mercy from God? Enter the garden. There will be neither fear in you, nor will you feel remorse." And the companions of the fire would cry out to the companions of the garden, "Pour some water on us, or some of what God has provided you." They would say, "Truly God has forbidden them both to the ones who were ungrateful, those who took their way of life to themselves as a diversion and as a pastime. This present life deluded them. So today we will forget them as they forgot the meeting of this their day, and because they had been negating our signs. And surely we have brought about a book to them in which we have explained distinctly with knowledge, a guidance and a mercy for a folk who believe. Are they looking for nothing but its interpretation? The day its interpretation approaches, those who had forgotten it before will say, "Surely messengers of our Lord drew near us with the truth. Have we any intercessors who will intercede for us? Or will we be returned so that we would do other than what we were doing before? Surely they have lost themselves. Gone astray from them is what they had been devising. Truly your Lord is God, he who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. After that, he turned his attention to the throne. He covers the nighttime with the daytime, which seeks it out urgently, and the sun and the moon and the stars are ones that were caused to be subservient to his command. Truly, his is not but the creation and the command. Blessed be God, Lord of the worlds. Call to your Lord humbly and inwardly. Truly, he loves not the ones who are aggressors. Make not corruption in the earth after things have been made right, and call to him with fear and hope. Truly, the mercy of God is near to the ones who are doers of good. And it is he who sends the winds, ones that are bearers of good news before his mercy, until when they are charged with a heavy cloud, we will drive it to a dead land, and then we send forth water from the cloud, and with it we bring out by water every kind of fruit. Thus we will bring out the dead, so that perhaps you would recollect. As for the good land, its plants go forth with permission of its Lord, while as for what is bad, it goes forth not, but scantily. Thus we diversify the signs for a folk who give thanks. Surely we had sent Noah to his folk, and he said, O my folk, worship God. You have no God other than he. Truly, I fear for you the punishment of a tremendous day. The council of his folk said, Truly we see thee clearly wandering astray. He said, O my folk, there is no fallacy in me. I am only a messenger from the Lord of the worlds. I state the messages of my Lord to you and advise you, and I know from God what you know not. Or marveled you that there has drawn near to you a remembrance from your Lord through a man among you, that he may warn you, and that you be God-fearing, so that perhaps you would find mercy. Then they denied him. Then we rescued him and those who were with him on the ship, and we drowned those who denied our signs. Truly they were a folk in the dark. And to Ad God sent their brotherhood. He said, O my folk, worship God. You have no God but he. Will you not then be God-fearing? The council of those who were ungrateful said among his folk, Truly we see foolishness in thee, and truly we think that thou art of the ones who lie. He said, O my folk, there is no foolishness in me. I am only a messenger from the Lord of the worlds. I state the messages of my Lord to you, and I am one who gives advice to you, trustworthy. Or marveled you that there has drawn near to you a remembrance from your Lord through a man from among you, that he may warn you? And remember when he made you vice-regents after the folk of Noah, and increased you greatly in constitution. Then remember the benefits of God, so that perhaps you would prosper. They said, Have you brought about to us that we should worship God alone and forsake what our fathers had been worshipping? So approach us with what thou hast promised us, if thou hast been of the ones who are sincere. He said, Surely have fallen on you disgrace and anger from your Lord. Dispute you with me over names which you have named, you and your fathers, for which God has not sent down any authority? Then wait a while. Truly, I will be with you among the ones who are waiting a while. Then we rescued him and those with him by a mercy from us, and we severed the last remnant of those who denied our signs, and they had not been ones who believe. And to Thamud God sent their brother Saleh. He said, O my folk, worship God. You have no God but he. Surely have drawn near to you clear portents from your Lord. This is the she-camel of God as a sign. So allow her to eat on the earth of God, and afflict her not with evil, so that a painful punishment not take you. And remember when we made you vice-regents after Ad, and placed you on the earth. You take to yourselves palaces on the plains, and carve out the mountains as houses. So remember the benefits of God, and do no mischief as ones who make corruption in and on the earth. Said the council of those who had grown arrogant among his folk to those who were taken advantage of because of their weakness, to those among them who had believed, Know you that Saleh is one who was sent from his Lord? They said, Truly, in what he was sent, we are ones who believe. Those who had grown arrogant said, Truly, we are in what you have believed, ones who disbelieve. Then they crippled the she-camel and defied the command of their Lord, and they said, O Saleh, approach us with what thou hast promised us, if thou hast been of those who were sent. So the quaking of the earth took them, and it came to be in the morning they were in their abodes, ones who were fallen prostrate. Then he turned away from them and said, O my folk, certainly I have expressed to you the message of my Lord, and advised you, except you love not the ones who give advice. And mention Lot when he said to his folk, You approach indecency such as has not any one who preceded you in it in the world. Truly you approach men with lust instead of women. Nay, you are a folk, ones who are excessive. And the answer of his folk was not but that they said, Bring them out from your town. Truly they are a clan to be purified. Then we rescued him and his people, but his wife. She had been of the ones who stayed behind. And we rained down a rain on them. So look on how had been the ultimate end of the ones who sin. And to Midian God sent their brother Shoeb. He said, O my folk, worship God. You have no God but he. Surely a clear portent has drawn near to you from your Lord. So live up to the full measure and the balance, and diminish not the things of humanity, nor make corruption in and on the earth after things have been made right. That will be better for you if you have been ones who believe. And sit not by every path, intimidating and barring from the way of God those who have believed in him, and you desire it to be crooked. And remember when you had been few, and he augmented you. And look on how had been the ultimate end of the ones who make corruption. And if there had been a section of you who believe in what I was sent with, and a section believe not, have patience until God gives judgment between us, and he is the best of the ones who judge.